backslash wake up call DT. I'm all over the place today. My apologies. So, welcome here to the broadcast. Happy to be here with you on Facebook Live, on mixlr.com backslash wake up call DT, as well as on YouTube.com backslash wake up call DT. There's so much going on, so much good. I'm very excited about it. I got myself jumbled this morning, so welcome to the show, and so happy to have you here. As we are on MixLR, we're on WakeUpCallDT.com, we're on Facebook Live, as well as on YouTube. So, however you're connecting with the show, thank you so much for being a part of it, and welcome to Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal studios in Cafe Kubal for us here with 5 locations in the community that we appreciate so very much. Want to give them a big time shout out. Thankful that Cafe Kubal is here with us. All of their locations are open for sit down as well, so you can go in and relax and grab something to drink, and you can hang out there and have some fun. So make sure that you do that today at Cafe Kubal, and you can do that at any one of their locations: 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, and their newest location, which is on 343 Fayette Street in Fayetteville, New York. So make sure that you make your way over there to Cafe Kubal, whichever location you fancy. Make sure that you fancy yourself over there today and let them know that Wake Up Call sent you their way, as we're very, very happy to be partnered with them and be helping them out and doing great stuff here in the community. So a big time shout out to each and every single one of them, and I appreciate them so very much for the Cafe Kubals and for all the local companies that we have the opportunity to help here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. It is truly my honor and it is my privilege to be able to do that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart that we have that opportunity to do that with you. I very, very much appreciate that. So thank you to all the companies that believe in us and trust in us and that are here with us today and always. So a big time thank you to everybody out there. So, with that being stated, great show coming up for you today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as we are going to be here with 2 Syracuse Orange football alumni in just a few moments. We'll be joined by Julian Whigham first inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We'll be joined by Julian Whigham of Syracuse Orange football history, 2012 to 2015. Julian Whigham was here with us, and so we'll be speaking with him in just a little bit here around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be joined by Julian Whigham, and we'll have the opportunity to get his thoughts on NFL Championship Sunday, as well as sports and coronavirus, and what he's thankful for this year and what he's hopeful for with Syracuse next season. So 2012 to 2015, Julian was with us. And then Eric Crume will join the show. Crume will be with us as well in hour number 2 from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. He'll take us all the way to the end. And Crume's going to be speaking with us on his thoughts as well on NFL Championship Sunday, his time at Syracuse from 2011 to 2014, and just what his takeaways were amidst that time at Syracuse, what he hopes for Syracuse moving forward, and so much more. So a lot of great stuff coming up with Julian Whigham, as well as a lot of great stuff coming up with Eric Crume today on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So very honored, very privileged, and very appreciative that we get to bring this to you today, and I thank you so much for being a part of the show and navigating this with us. And the watch parties on Facebook continue to change and continue to be more and more difficult to get you onto. So I appreciate you all for finding us on Facebook, because it's not as easy as it used to be by any stretch of the imagination. Facebook found a way to make it even tougher for a self-created local and small business that is growing and ever moving regionally and nationally and internationally. They made it even harder for a business to do what we need to do. So thank you to Facebook for making things even more difficult, and I will respond to the challenge as I always do. So with that being stated, welcome here to the broadcast, and happy to be here with you. Happy to be here on YouTube as well. Very, very much appreciative to YouTube that has been with us really since the beginning. We've had a YouTube channel for a long time now, and I want to thank YouTube for helping us to get on live there as well on youtube.com/wakeupcall DT. So to all of you out there that are listening and watching, I appreciate you so very much. And it is now time to hop into the show. So my thoughts before we get Julian on the broadcast here, my thoughts on NFL Championship Sunday. For me, if Pat Mahomes was playing, I knew that there was a really good chance, obviously, that Kansas City was going to get the win. I picked Buffalo. I was being hopeful. More than anything, I was being hopeful, wanting Buffalo to advance, wanting Buffalo to get back to the Super Bowl. They had a very long streak of not being in the playoffs. Them and the Cleveland Browns, both of those streaks have been snapped now with Cleveland getting into the playoffs this season, so shout out to Cleveland for that. But the Buffalo Bills hadn't won a playoff game since 1995. So for them to be able to do it here and to get that victory, very, very proud of them. 25 years later, it's insane. And for them to get the victory. And so I just wanted to see them continue to go on. I wanted to see Central and Upstate New York, promoted and kind of in that spotlight. So it was a hopeful pick. But the reality of it all is I knew if Pat Mahomes played, this was going to be a very difficult game. And nothing to Chad Henne if he had been out there, and no disrespect to him. Just saying, Pat Mahomes is one of the greats. And I said, what he did in his first couple seasons, winning a Super Bowl and the numbers he had and whatnot, I said, this man is prepping himself to be in the Hall of Fame already. He's going to go to his second Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowl, try and keep the Vince Lombardi trophy in Kansas City, which is incredible. And, I'm really, really excited about that and everything that comes forth. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching and listening, including my boy Rudy. So shout out to you, brother. I hope you are enjoying Cleveland, Ohio, and I miss you very much. And I hope for the opportunity to get to see you soon. And I know you're doing great things out there. So keep your head up and know that God's got your back. He'll guide your path. And you're going to be all right, and you're going to be amazing at your job, and professionally and personally, this is going to be your best year yet. So, with that being stated, getting back into the games here, it's really interesting to me to see that, Buffalo, what they did of over 20 years of not winning a playoff game, and they finally get to do it, but going up against Pat Mahomes is a buzzsaw. And like I said, I chose the Bills thinking, okay, well, if Pat Mahomes doesn't play, or if he gets, and I figured he was going to play. I didn't think anything was going to keep him out of here. He had the shortest concussion protocol of mankind, as far as I know, except for the times where they weren't really even logging concussions. Maybe that was a time where it went even quicker. But crazy to me how fast everything went here with Pat Mahomes. But of course, they had to get him out onto the field, and hopefully he's okay. More than anything else, he's okay, because this, rushing somebody back out onto the field so they could play for you, yeah, that's all well and good, but making sure that they're actually healthy enough to play should be more of the concern. So hopefully he's okay, and hopefully, he'll continue to be all right. But I'm very happy to see that Pat Mahomes was able to play, and I know Mac Wilson, who put the hit on him for Cleveland, if you go back and watch that hit, I watched it repeatedly. He never hit him in the helmet, never helmet-to-helmet contact. He grabbed him by the neck as he was being, kind of the momentum of them flying forward. He grabbed his neck and pulled his entire body by his neck. And I think that that's probably what was most jarring to Pat Mahomes in that one. But Mahomes, kind of wobbly to get up in that game against Cleveland a game ago. And then he was able to do it and able to come into this game and strike. And I got to give credit, before I go anywhere else to these teams, though, I have to give extreme credit to the offensive lines. The offensive line of Buffalo and the offensive line of Kansas City, I know they weren't perfect, but there were times where, Josh Allen had about 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw the ball. Same with Pat Mahomes. These guys dropped back, looked, surveyed the field, made maybe one little step, and just got to stand back there and basically take a nap in the backfield, which was incredible. So I want to shout out the offensive line of Kansas City, and I also want to shout out the offensive line of Buffalo for playing playing a tremendous game yesterday, two tremendous offensive lines, really getting it done. I want to give credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line, who attacked the heck out of the Packers and attacked Aaron Rodgers. So I do want to show them some love on that. Green Bay. We'll talk about that in a second here. But ultimately, just kind of my initial thoughts before we get in with the gentleman with Julian Whigham as well as Eric Crume joining the show. My initial thoughts on these games as we get set today to talk about NFL Championship Sunday and more is just that again, I'm happy that Buffalo made it as far as they did. I knew how hard it was going to be to go up against Pat Mahomes. It was a hopeful pick, knowing full well that Kansas City was more than deserving of getting back to the Super Bowl. That was my preseason pick, is that they were going to make it. And so to see them get back there, I'm not surprised by any stretch of the imagination. I actually love it. I love it very, very much. It stinks that it had to go in a game against Buffalo here with upstate New York. But, I think either side, I would have been happy with either side. And then, with Green Bay and Tampa Bay, the Battle of the Bays, I really honestly, I picked Green Bay fully knowing it's Tom Brady. See, here's the thing. And I'm not trying to excuse my picks because the picks I made were my picks and I was wrong. But I made the Green Bay pick knowing how dangerous Tom Brady is. I made the Buffalo pick knowing how dangerous Pat Mahomes is. I am not surprised at all at what happened, and I'm okay going down with the picks that I made this week because, that's something that I was really hoping to see a return for Green Bay, hoping to see Buffalo get back for the first time in forever, and Buffalo had that streak of Super Bowl appearances where they didn't win a single one of them, and so, I was hoping for that storyline to have two snowball teams playing in Tampa, but what it ended up turning into was, seeing Tom Brady get a home Super Bowl game and seeing Pat Mahomes do what he does, so I'm not shocked or stunned at all. I will tell you that Tom Brady advancing to his 10th Super Bowl, I think that I have to at this point say it. I think at this point I have to admit it. I know I said in the past that I didn't think he was the greatest quarterback ever. And I could tell you now, with Bruce Arians in Tampa, after spending time with Bill Belichick and being in that system, normally when players leave Bill Belichick, they falter. Normally when they leave Bill Belichick, they can't seem to figure it out. Sometimes they look like totally different players. Sometimes they become obscure. And I'm not trying to be offensive in any stretch of the imagination. I'm just talking. So, looking at that, and the reality that a lot of players that leave New England seem to leave whatever was in the water there, and they don't play as well. Well, in the case of Tom Brady, he went down to a haphazard Tampa Bay team and led them into the playoffs and led them past Washington in a game they almost lost to Taylor Heineke on the road and led them into New Orleans, where New Orleans had already defeated them twice, defeated them in a close game in the first game of the season, and then spanked them the second time around, and they were able to get a victory at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, were able to defeat them on the road after losing to them twice and allowing over 30 points to them both times. So shout out to that. And then on top of that, they're able to beat the number one seeded Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So, Tom Brady, I'm going to say it, and I know some people are waiting for this and anxious for this, so I'm going to milk it as long as I can. Tom Brady very well may be the greatest quarterback that's ever played in the NFL. There, I said it. Are you happy? Great. I hope you all are. Have a fantastic day. I'm getting off the air now. No, I'm kidding. But yes. So that's where we're at, and I'm happy to see that, Tom Brady's still doing his thing at 517 years old, or 43, one of the two, pick it. So I'm happy to see that he's doing what he's doing. Incredible thing here. And Jason said, if anyone's looking for any last-minute gift ideas for me, an $8,500 nosebleed seat to the Super Bowl is on my wish list. I got you, Jay. I'll put it out here for you. I'll share it. I ain't paying for it, but I'll share it for you. So I definitely think that it's awesome to see this. I mean, the first time ever, there's never been a team that got to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Now, there's teams that got to host it close, but there's never been a team to host their Super Bowl in the home stadium, Raymond James Stadium, and I said that before the game. I said, if Tom Brady wins this game, that he is going to be at home for the Super Bowl, which is a perfect storyline for the NFL and for him, and potentially a swan song. So even though it feels like he'll never retire, like Jim Boeheim. So it's never been done before that a team will be playing at home for the Super Bowl. And here's the crazy thing about it. They're playing at home for the Super Bowl, and they're the underdog. So look at this entire situation. Kansas City's returning to the Super Bowl for the second year. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are playing a home Super Bowl game, which has never been done in the history of the NFL. And at home in their Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, they're considered the underdog to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. So essentially, this is awesome. This is crazy. This is cool. And I could have said crazy, sexy, cool, and it would have been hashtag TLC. But I'm very, very excited about this. I think it's going to be a great moment and really looking forward to it. Jason said that they're watching from Carly's hospital room. So Carly, I know that I said this before, but God bless to everybody in the family. Listen, folks, okay? Life is so much more than hashtags and retweets and who likes you on TikTok and, did you get a date on one of your dating apps and whatever. It's so much more than this. Life is about loving those that God has sent to you and appreciating your blessings, every single one of them. So before we take a step aside for a fast break, I want to tell you, Carly, Uncle Dan loves you. Uncle Dan is there with you. I will see you, God willing, in less than a month. And so I love you. I miss you. I'm there with you. You can do this, honey. God's got your back. His guiding hand is always there. So you be good. Okay, and to Jason and to Kristen and to Gracie and the whole family, you have my love. You have my support. I'm right there. If you need anything, I'll be there. And God, may you watch over, protect, and love with the medicine and the healing hands and everybody working on Carly and really everyone everywhere that needs help. May you send the best of the best to them. May they be able to get through it, afford it, be with it, and may it all just work out. So my best to you, sweet girl, and to your family. Carly, Uncle Dan loves you, honey. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Julian Whigham will join the show to give his thoughts on NFL Championship Sunday. Right after this. Inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, this is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I'm more than proud to have you here with us today.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. Hanging out here inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios here with you, where sports truly meets life. We're going to jump right into it. Two guests today on the show, Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Hard to believe that this is the last full week of January, folks. We're going to be heading into February soon. And, you know, the way that my love life goes, your boy ain't going to have no Valentine. So I might just have to go hang out with my buddies, see what Julian's up to, and maybe we'll have to have what is it called, an anti or a non-Valentine's Day? You know, they do it on the sitcoms and whatnot. We'll have like a Black Valentine Day where, you know, we kind of just, you know, I don't know, cross out the heart. I don't know what we're going to do with it. But we'll figure something out and have a... I don't want to call it that, though, because when they say it, it's like, you know, I don't want to call it like a mean Valentine's Day, but maybe we'll just call it like, you know, Bro Day, or you know, or Wig in the Tort. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. I got to come up with it. I'm so exhausted this morning, and so is Julian, and so I was going to do the show. I was like, you know, I was gonna turn on the thing and show me just kind of passed out in the studio. I don't drink. So that's not an issue. Your boy's just tired, and I've been hibernating in this snow, and it gets me sleepy. So let's bring in Wiggs, and we'll wake ourselves up. So Julian, first and foremost, how are you? Secondly, should we do an anti-Valentine's Day?
Yes, so I'm doing well. Just like you, man. I'm very, very tired. Not even sure how I'm, functioning this morning. But now I'm all for the anti-Valentine's Day, man. You know, I actually, a couple years ago, when I was down in Tampa getting ready for a pro day, this is my favorite Waffle House story. So I used to go to Waffle House every morning before our workouts. And it just so happened to be Valentine's Day this year. I come in, not even thinking about it. And the waitress comes up. She's like, you know it's Valentine's Day, right? And I'm like, is it? And she's like, that's what I'm talking about. And I guess in this Waffle House, it was an anti-Valentine's Day where they come in, you can like rip up your ex's pictures for a free waffle. So she gave me a free waffle. We took pictures. They actually gave me a broken heart-shaped waffle. And it actually was probably one of my best Waffle House visits I have ever had. So I'm all for anti-Valentine's Day visits because my experiences so far have been pretty good, to say the least.
Yeah, man. I figure and I love the fact that you're like my favorite Waffle House story. Like there's like 50 of them. So I love that. You know, when I went to Waffle House in 1993, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I have a good Waffle House story. When I was down in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I was staying in my hotel was right by, like, I could walk to Waffle House, and it was right by this Waffle House, and it was one of those Waffle Houses where I thought, like, it lived in this, like, in this middle ground world of, I thought, is this place going to get shot up? Or am I going to meet the love of my life? Like, it was that Waffle House. Like, it's either going to be really, really good or really bad. What ended up happening is I just ate chocolate chip waffles and I had a happy day. But, and I remember I took the waffles and something about it, I ended up leaving and I took the waffles back to my place, my hotel room, and I sat there and I thought to myself, I was like, I'm single. I ain't got nobody on the horizon. And these chocolate chip pancakes are fantastic. These chocolate chip waffles are fantastic. That's all that went through my head was, I ain't got no lady, but I got these waffles. And then I was like, why does it feel just as happy? so I mean, I do. I miss it. I miss my chocolate chip waffles.
I'll tell you, the Waffle Houses that look like they're in a shady spot, they always have the best food. Like, if there's a chance that you may or may not, get shot in there, that's how you know that the Waffle House is going to be hitting that day. So I get excited when the place looks a little bit suspect.
Well, I mean, and isn't that what it's all about, right? Isn't that what love is all about? Wondering if you're going to, get to sit down and have a happy meal or maybe get shot. Isn't that what love is all about? We never know when you get in a relationship, like, is she going to shoot me or are we going to eat waffles together? And, Julian, I can tell you that I've thought the first more than the second so many times. So anyways, football. So the NFL Championship Sunday happened. What are your overall thoughts? We'll start with the first game, which is Green Bay and Tampa Bay. I know that you are a native Floridian, and it is absolutely insane, yet it makes all sense in the world when it comes to Tom Brady, that he gets to be the first quarterback, and Tampa Bay gets to be the first team to ever host a Super Bowl. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so I came into that game like just 100% certain that Green Bay had this one. Not even because I'm thinking Brady's like falling off or that Tampa was just not it. I just thought, this was the year that Aaron Rodgers finally put it together, Green Bay finally put it together. And for whatever reason, like they came out flat. They started to get back into the game. I knew it was going to be a close game. And, I've been in this whole trade deal, so I'm super into the data analytics and the advanced metrics of the game, right? And, I had seen earlier on in the week that a major statistic measuring performance for Green Bay was the amount that they'd be able to throw the ball. The more they threw the ball, the more often they won. I'm like, oh, okay. And then Tampa's defense actually encouraged you to throw the football, loading up the box. So I'm like, oh, this is a given. But somehow Brady finds a way to get out of this game with another win, and it's another lesson in don't bet against Brady. Usually I'm smart to be on the Brady side, but this time I took in too much information and went ahead and lost myself some money this week. But it doesn't surprise me that Brady was able to come out of this game with a win. The way they played, they were super efficient all game long. And they got some threats. We're so used to the Patriots, like Tom Brady and the Patriots, where it's dink and dunk, 5 yards here, 3 yards here, 7 yards there. But the Bucs go downfield. They're crossing routes. They're putting that ball out there 15 to 18 yards. And it's like, dang, I didn't know Brady had this. So, and then, of course, they get the PI at the end of the game that kind of bails them out. And it's just like, well, they've been hitting that route so often that the corners couldn't keep up, and they end up tugging. So, this game, that first game, while it was disappointing to be on the losing side of it, it didn't surprise me because the Bucs are just a super efficient football team. And Tom Brady, it just seems to add something new to his game every year. So, that first game, the fact that he can do it, while it was disappointing to be on the losing side of it,
and the thing that's pretty interesting is that we were talking about this, and Brady, he's 43, and my mom actually wrote in. My mom is so anti-Brady that it's uncanny. And the thing that's pretty interesting, and so she just said, remember, he didn't do it by himself, and Brady didn't. This man threw 3 touchdowns. He also threw 3 interceptions. My mom actually wrote in, my mom on the defense of Tampa and how this defense has been building and growing for a long time. I was down there covering them at their camp in like 2011. Just said, remember, he didn't do it by himself. This defense has been trying to build for a while now. This man threw 3 touchdowns. And he also threw 3 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers. Speak on the defense of Tampa and how this defense has been building and growing for a long time. I was down there covering them at their camp in like 2011. This defense has been trying to build for a while now, And the defense harassed Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think they get the credit that they deserve because everybody's focused on number 12.
This team going. Like they actually they're using doing a fantastic job. A lot of Tampa too, like the interceptions early on in the game. Where because I remember we held the Bucks. That's actually really good Tampa coverage where you're kind of heavy late going. Like they to the outside, kind of like they're using a lot of Tampa too, like the interception early on in the game. The hip, and then as soon as the receiver was out, his head looked in. Easy interception. That's actually really good. This defense, they just really sound kind of across the board. Defensive line to the outside, kind of their secondary is talented. I forget the kid's name. That hip a little bit. One corner, which is absolutely locked down here. And then as soon as the receiver broke outside, his head looked in. Easy interception. But this defense, they just really sound. They're really talented across the board, and their secondary is talented. I forget the kid's name. They've got this one corner. But the Chiefs absolutely. They match up well. They match up well. That you wouldn't expect to be. It's just going to be a matter of how well they execute, how they've get to Mahomes, and if they cross the board, the Bucks have a really good chance of going into the matchup with. They've just done such a good job, especially up front. They match up well. It's just going to be a matter of how well they execute, how they get to Mahomes. They've just done such a good job. I think the Bucks have a really good chance of winning. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, Tom Brady has done such a great job, especially up front. They're pretty complete. I think it's the Donovan Sue.
And I just said
vitalize his career, this season, and they've just done such a good job.
Tom Brady, because I've never said this before,
at the same time, it's like,
and I know people get squirrely about it, but he may very well. What did I say? Greg quoted me. He said, "I said he very well might be the greatest Tom Brady ever." Because I've never said very well might be. Kind of questioning people get squirrely about it. It's like, okay, but you know what? He very well. It's his 10th Super Bowl.
Greg quoted me.
He brought Tampa out of the basement.
I said he very
proved
well
that Bill
might
Belichick's
be
deal with the devil didn't matter unless he made one
ever.
too, which he probably did.
And he put very well might be.
Whatever Tom Brady has done,
it's like, okay,
as a backup quarterback coming from Michigan,
it's his 10th
came in
Super
for Drew
Bowl.
Bledsoe after
he
Drew
brought
Bledsoe
Tampa
got
out of the
hurt,
basement,
and
he proved that Bill Belichick's deal with the devil didn't matter unless he made one too, which he probably did.
Unbelievable, but undeniable.
Whatever Tom Brady has done,
then teams have won in history. There's a bunch of teams that have never won one.
Drew Bledsoe
and so obviously he doesn't do it by himself.
And he never
and the defense gets credit for definitely the last one, if not a couple.
Unbelievable.
But Brady was undeniable. A part of all these.
He's won more Super Bowls than teams have won in history. There's a bunch of teams that have never won one.
I finally have
so
to
obviously
make
he doesn't do it by himself.
Over 500
and the
people
defense gets
that
credit
sent me
for
Twitter messages
definitely
a
the
couple
last
years
one,
ago
if not
from
a couple.
Boston,
But
Massachusetts.
Brady was a part of all of these. The leadership is.
I guess Boston could be really happy because I think Tom Brady's wicked
I think
good.
that this
so I mean,
finally have to
I'm going to call him the greatest ever, greatest GOAT quarterback all time ever. So I guess I got
when I said he was.
I guess I got to give it up to him this morning, Julian.
I guess Boston could be really happy
the greatest, even better than freaking Dunkin' Donuts this morning. So
I'm going to call him the greatest
we all know the Cafe Football is better than
greatest
Dunkin' Donuts,
GOAT quarterback.
I guess I have to call him the
so
greatest
I guess I got to give it up to him this morning,
undeniable,
Julian, and call him the greatest, even better than freaking Dunkin' Donuts this morning. So I guess and we all know the Cafe Football is better than Dunkin' Donuts, but I guess I have to call him the greatest ever at this point.
Between like LeBron, I think at this point it's undeniable. 6 championships, and MJ, and then for a while it was 10 Super Bowl. It's just it's a level of that's the thing too. Like it's a really good argument. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. A lot of people going back and forth between like LeBron. The reality is a lot of people debate talent. And MJ, and then for a while it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT because Tom Brady. He may not be the most talented arm in the world. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, much better arms. And the reality is, a lot of people debate talent, much more talented like in the NFL. Achievements, and he uses what he has in such a way that he may not be the most talented arm in the world. Anyone else that has ever played for much better. And that's what makes you the GOAT. That's why MJ is always going to be better than much more talented. LeBron's a better football or a better basketball player. What he has always such a way, but he's more successful. When it comes down to it, anyone else, how much did you achieve? That's what you had. That's why there's nobody that be better than measure up to what Tom Brady has done in his career. I'm just happy like everyone else that I was alive has always had a chance to watch it for myself. When it comes down to it,
Speak for your dang self.
No,
I'm kidding. No, it's been pretty awesome to see this and what he's done. Julian, before I let you go, quick takes here, but one of our listeners wrote in and said that they would love to hear our take on Green Bay's decision to not go for it on fourth down inside the 10-yard line with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. A little bit over 2 minutes left in the game. They decided to kick a field goal, which got them within 5, 31-26. But did absolutely nothing to change the game.
Go for it on fourth down
on
inside the 10-yard line
to kick a field goal on fourth down instead of going for it.
A little bit over 2 minutes left in the game.
They decided to kick a field goal, which got them within 5, 31-26, but did absolutely nothing to change the game. Your thoughts on Green Bay's decision to kick a field goal on fourth down instead of going for it in the red zone?
Talented quarterbacks. That was one of the worst decisions. In the last 2 minutes, you basically said to that man, "I don't trust you." That's the reality. If you're going to get the ball back later on, you got Aaron Rodgers, who just says probably one of the most game manager side says, "Oh, well, in the last 2 minutes, you basically said to that man, I don't trust the variable that you're against." That's the reality. Very good chances of 2 minutes left. You're going to get the ball back to the greatest quarterback. That's when you kind of measure up and say, "Okay, what are our chances?" If I do game manager side says, "Oh, well, kick the field goal and you got to go. You got to know in that situation." Variable that you're against. It was a Brady decision, bad call. It was too conservative, and it sent a really bad message to measure up and say, okay, what are our chances if they do get the ball back? He did a great job coaching this year, but I think that message in that situation. It was a poor decision, bad call. It was too conservative, and it sent a really bad message to Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be interesting. Especially off of that call. It was a poor call. I think everyone recognized that. I think that last message in that situation to go for it because the chances of getting the ball back first round in that situation is so little confidence in him that when you have the opportunity to tie a football, especially off of that call, be better. It was a poor call. I think everyone recognized that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should have went for it by all stretches of the imagination. You're down 31-23. You go for it. You get 2. It's a tie game. Very, very dumb call. I was also surprised at some of the passes Aaron Rodgers had earlier in the game. He had gone out of the pocket to the right side, and he was rolling right, and he had a wide open space to the end zone, and he ran toward it. And then he turned and tried to force the ball.
I was also surprised at some of the passes Aaron Rodgers had earlier.
A guy that was triple defended.
He had
right in front of the end zone.
To the right side,
there going,
and he was rolling
he had
right,
an easy run
and he had a wide open space to the end zone.
There's that.
And he
there's
ran
the Scotty
toward
Miller
it,
blown
and then
coverage that
he
you talked
turned
about,
and tried to force the ball.
Green Bay had a chance to tie it. They had a chance
a guy
to
that
win
was
it. They had a
triple
chance to
defended
stop it.
right in front of the end zone. And I remember sitting there
Tom
going,
Brady's
he had an easy run into the end zone. What the hell is he doing?
Hop off here.
There's
Bills
there's the Scotty Miller blown coverage that you talked about, and then of course this play. Green Bay had a chance to tie it. They had a chance to win it. They had a chance to stop it. None of those things happened, and Tom Brady's moving on. Very, very quick because I know you got to hop off here. Bills and Chiefs before I let you go.
He had to be, at his everybody else, right? I kind of assumed he's going to win this football game. But they won pretty handily to the level needed to help his team win. You knew the situation was knew they had to have a big game. They were back this game. He had to be at his best, and they couldn't get stops. They couldn't get stops, and the Bills, but not to the level needed to help his team win. You knew he had to come and play one of his best games, and just from the jump weapons they had, and they had a pretty good game plan for him. As a Chiefs defense, so it didn't surprise me as a quarterback scorer out the way that he had to come and play one of his best Bills team, and just from the jump that winning the they had AFC a pretty good game plan for him. I think they're one of the more talented teams in the AFC. That's why they're in the position they were in. It didn't surprise me the next step score of the Bills is going to have to be Josh Allen, but consistent with the way that he's really coming along, and that offense winning because the Chiefs, you got to be able to score 20 28, that's what the position they were in. Otherwise, the next step for the Bills is going to have to be Josh Allen being consistent with the way that he's throwing the football, and that offense Mahomes is the Chiefs. You've got to be able to score 28, 35 points a game. And it's like, otherwise, the Chiefs can pull off on you. Can you do that? The one play that really sticks out to me, you've got to be able to match that at times. Otherwise, this team will take off on you. Mahomes hit, not surprising, and he was hit that game, I think 70 yards. The Bills themselves have been very impressive. And it's like, find a way to get that. The Chiefs can pull off. Can you do that? Whoever else, I think they'll be able to find themselves in contention and in the same spot come next season.
Yeah, I think the Bills are definitely in a prime position to make a push and make a run. I think there's a lot of good in Buffalo, a lot of good here in upstate New York, and I'm seeing that. You talk about consistency, that's ever important. Julian, you played DB. Can anybody stop Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill? I mean, the Bills have had some good moments and have been able to do some good things on defense, and Taron Jackson's been phenomenal, but can anybody stop Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill? I feel like I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you.
I mean, it's obviously no, but, it gets to a point, too, especially when you're at that level, where we hear people say it all the time, like it's about containing them rather than stopping them. Because at that, like once you get to that, once you kind of max out your Madden rating and you're at that 99 level, there's really nothing as a defender that you can do, because the offense is always going to be that one step ahead of you.
Yeah.
And when they have that step, and they have a quarterback who's going to be right there in lockstep with them, it's impossible to defend. So as a defense, the only thing you can do is, you have to scheme it. And I have a great example for you. So during the Green Bay game. So it was Green Bay and Tampa. And Devontae Adams ran one of the sickest routes I have ever seen, right? He ends up killing the corner, and then a safety drops underneath, anticipating him being there, and then he adjusts his route off of one cut, and he breaks the safety. The safety has no idea where he's going, makes a cut, and he's wide open. And not wide open, but he's in a really tight window, but he's open, for a touchdown, and he just couldn't get his feet down. And, he ended up breaking two people on that play, and it was one of the best routes I have ever seen. It was one of those 99 Madden moments, right? But the play was still incomplete despite being caught because he couldn't get his feet down. And that's the reality of how you stop someone like Hill or Travis Kelce or anyone who's reached that level. They may be able to kill individual defenders or maybe even double teams, but if you scheme it up correctly, you can make it difficult on them to get the football. You can make it difficult on them even when they do get the ball to do anything with it. So that comes with great scheme. It comes with a great game plan. It comes with great execution. And if you can do those things, that's how you slow those guys down. Now, it's a problem because there's so many of them on the field. But if you can do those things, that's how you slow guys like that down. It's never an individual effort at that point, unless you're like got Revis or something. But it's rarely an individual effort at that point when you've got so many 99 guys running across the field. It takes a great strategy and a great scheme with great execution behind it to stop guys like that.
Yeah, incredible, and that coming from a DB and Julian Whigham. Julian, I know you spent a couple extra minutes with us today, and I know you got to get hopping, but I appreciate you. Look out for my call on Valentine's Day, and we'll have to set up you and I having a non-Valentine's Day Bro Day Waffle House moment. So circle February 14th on the calendar. We'll get it set, and in the meantime, thank you for everything. A happy New Year to you, and I appreciate you as always. And the next time I have you on the show, I know that I put it out on social media, but we'll have to talk about what got sent my way. So thank you for the gift. Thank you for your friendship and just being a part of my extended family, my family to me, and I really can't say enough about that.
I appreciate it, Dan. I always love coming on, and it's always a good time when I do, man. We definitely got to do the Waffle House thing. That's my spot.
Yeah. Get ready for it. Go scope out the ones where we could meet the love of our life and or die. That's the one. That's the spot. It's that middle between heaven and hell. You don't know where it's going. That's Waffle House. So we gotta figure it out. Maybe that's a new tagline. Right between heaven and hell, we have chocolate chip waffles for you. So, well,
I'm there.
All right, brother. I'll talk with you soon. Please be good and stay safe, okay?
You too now. Catch you later.
Take care. That coming from Julian Whigham here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Happy to be here with you and hanging out inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Let's take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Man, Waffle House just got a massive shameless plug. Was it a positive one, though? We'll take a step aside. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as where you're watching in two places now. That is Facebook.com/LiveNowDT and YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. So we're on the YouTube, we're on the Facebook, we're on MixLR, we're on the homepage of WakeUpCallDT.com, our website. So there's so many ways to get us. No excuses, y'all. Appreciate you. And tell your family, friends, coworkers, and colleagues where to find us as well, because we're always looking to grow the Wake Up Call family, or as I like to call you all, the Call Crew. So Greg said, I think you can work it into your set. So I guess he means a Waffle House. I could work that into my comedy routine. So somewhere in between heaven and hell, Waffle House. So I like it. I like that's good stuff. So good morning to Alan as well, getting some nice messages this morning. So sending my prayers and my love to everybody out there. Hope you're all doing well and having yourselves a fantastic day and making the most of it. And so definitely hope we're putting some smiles on faces here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're going to have Eric Crume on in just a second. So I do want to get to a few things here before we get Crume on the broadcast, as obviously we'll be talking about continuing the conversation on the NFL and Championship Sunday and so much more. So I do want to shout out Syracuse again. If you haven't seen my video, you definitely want to check that out. I had a conversation with Marek Dolezaj from the Dome after the game where I was covering the matchup, and I spoke with him on Kadari Richmond and his importance. Kadari scoring 13 points in 15 minutes off the bench, and at one point scoring 9 straight points for Syracuse, and then earlier in the game being responsible for 6 points for Syracuse with scoring himself and then also assisting one of those plays. So phenomenal work by him in the game, and scoring the 6, and so obviously you're like, Dan, how does that, because that's 13. It was within a run. So altogether he had 13 points in 15 minutes and 13 seconds, which was pretty cool. So shout out to Kadari Richmond on his play for Syracuse this week, and just really awesome. I want to go to Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, what he had to say that the late field goal was the right decision. He said that, Matt LaFleur said that while he did end up regretting his decision to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands and kick a field goal with 2:09 left in the 31-26 loss to Tampa, he trusted his thinking behind the move. So he said, quote, "Yeah, anytime it doesn't work out, you always regret it, right? It was just the circumstances of having 3 shots and coming away with no yards, and knowing that you not only need that touchdown, but you need the 2-point conversion. The way I was looking at it, we essentially had 4 timeouts with a 2-minute warning. We knew we needed to get a stop, and I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but we got called for defensive pass interference, and it didn't work out. I think any time something doesn't work out, do you regret it? Sure. But we're always going to be process-driven here, and the way our defense was battling, the way our defense was playing, it felt like it was the right decision to do. It just didn't work out." End quote. Now, Rodgers said, quote, "It wasn't my decision on this." That's what he said. So he said, "It wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we were going to have 4 chances to go." So he said the 4 chances as well, end quote. So interesting here. Well, he said the 4 chances, obviously getting after it. But at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers didn't do it. I saw the defense differently. I wouldn't have trusted in the defense. I didn't think the defense was playing that incredible. And on top of that, they missed defensive pass interference on Tampa earlier in the game. And I'm not just saying this. There was a play with Devontae Adams where I believe he was wide open in the middle, right by the end zone, right in the middle of the field. And he was grabbed and they didn't call anything. In this one, they did grab him. And it did need to be called. And they made the right call. It just stinks when it happened, and it stinks that it wasn't called both ways. So the reality is the Packers should have gone for it, in my opinion. I understand they want to get any points, but there's less than 3 minutes to play. You go for broke on this. You try to score, and you try to do what you can to get the victory. Okay, you're not playing to get close. You're playing to win. And, and saying, oh, well, we had to score and get the 2-point conversion. Yeah, you did, okay? And if it wasn't for your defense blowing plays earlier, you wouldn't have to worry about it. And if it wasn't for your offense sputtering, you wouldn't have to worry about it. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers rolling out and not going to the end zone and trying to force a couple passes, then you wouldn't be in this position, arguably. So you can't complain about having to go for 2. You should be happy that the game was within reach. You're down by 8, which means you could do it on 1 drive. The Bills couldn't do it on 1 drive. You could get it done on 1 drive. Score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion. You don't like that situation? Understand it's better than most, and understand the fact that, guess what? You put yourself in that situation. I wouldn't have trusted my defense with 2 minutes to go. I wouldn't have put them in that position. And, like I said, was the pass interference a good call? Yes. Was it called on both sides always? No. But at the end of the day, Tom Brady and the Bucs did what they were supposed to do, and the Green Bay Packers did not. Hence, why Tampa's moving on, and Green Bay is going to be watching that game. So, I think they should have definitely have gone for it. We're not talking about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We're talking about 2. So, I think it's a clear decision for me. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', Eric Crume will be joining the show. From Syracuse football history, 2011 to 2014, was a teammate of Julian Whigham's for 3 seasons that he was at Syracuse. So we'll talk with him about that and so much more, including NFL Championship Sunday, right after this.
Avicoli's Restaurant, located right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, is proud to be your local neighbor, growing with you for over 20 years. We're open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and drinks. For takeout, delivery, or catering, call us at 315-622-5100. When you order online and use our promo code AVS10, you will save 10% on your online purchase at myavicolis.com. And make sure to join us monthly for our live on-site broadcasts centered around Liverpool athletics. Avicoli's, your local, trusted neighbor right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Trapper's Pizza Pub, located on 5950 Butternut Drive in East Syracuse. Right off of Bridge Street is your local community supporter right around the corner. Join us on site at Trapper's Pizza Pub for our live monthly broadcast supporting Central New York student athletes and their sports programs. Call 315-438-4444 for more information. And find us on Facebook and Instagram at Trapper's Pizza Pub. Trapper's Pizza Pub, your local community supporter right around the corner.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT. That's where you're listening. You're watching on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, and you're also watching now on YouTube Live on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. So plenty of places to watch, plenty of places to listen, and of course you could pick up the show in the archive. We actually made an archived page on Wake Up Call. If you click on the Wake Up Call TV tab on WakeUpCallDT.com, you will get our shows in full from here on Facebook, and you can check them out there. We just added those last night. You can also search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, the RSS feed, iHeartRadio, Spotify, MixLR, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, where you're watching right now. It is my absolute pleasure in hour number 2 to welcome yet another friend from Syracuse football history. I start to get to know these guys from covering them on the field. Then I reach out to them after they're done playing and try to continue that bond and build on that bond. And great people like Julian Whigham and Eric Crume help to make my dreams come true, with not just having football players from Syracuse history that I appreciate repping my hometown, but friends that I appreciate talking to on and off the air. So with that being said, Mr. Eric Crume, nose tackle for Syracuse from 2011 to 2014. Let's bring him in to the Cafe Football Studios. Eric, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing well, man. And I told you it was cold up here, but I'll tell you something. Ain't nothing colder than my relationship life right now. I will tell you that. There ain't nothing on that chill pill like that, like the love relationship. So I don't know if you heard what I was talking about with Julian, but him and I are going to have a not Valentine's Day bro day at Waffle House, because if there's anything in between heaven and hell, it's Waffle House. So So what do you do? I know you got a lady, so what do you do for Valentine's Day? Does she tell you what you're doing? Do you try to surprise her? What do you do?
Oh, no, I like the surprise element, the element of surprise. Like, I planned all my stuff out. Like, her birthday was last Monday, actually, and I did a at-home spot day.
Yeah.
So I laid it out and all that. I seen the video, had the little candles and stuff lit.
Look at you, like spa day, candles lit, all that stuff. So you're having like a Barry Manilow, like Peebo Bryson, Luther Vandross type of birthday for your lady. I would hope she appreciates that.
Oh yeah, you got to take care of your queen so she take care of you. If your woman ain't happy in the house, it ain't gonna never be a happy house. You a mad guy, you just a mad guy. It don't work the same way for me. You gotta do a little sacrifice.
I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I ain't have no queens in my house, so I got my princess, my dog, but I haven't had any queens in the house yet. I don't know what that feels like. What makes a true queen?
Just somebody you can build with, and stability. Just offers different things, and genuine love. And my biggest thing is always when I got a relationship, was find somebody that's gonna make me want to be better and help me be the best version of myself. That's the whole thing. I see when you find a relationship, get somebody to build with. Like, don't come to the table empty-handed. Both sides. Not saying you can have a little something. You might just have one little side dish on the plate. You need somebody to help you get the entree or something, or the main dish. So it all works hand in hand.
I can tell you that my last experience was not meant to make me a better man. I'll tell you that. So
at least you realize that, though.
I did. Yes, I did. So I realized that in order to be a better man, I had to move forward. So it's an interesting world, but I got to ask you this while we're on it. Everybody argues. Everybody has moments. Nothing's perfect. So how do you know that you're with the right person? Give us that advice this morning, as Julian and I are single men.
You're about to get the cliche answer. You don't know. It's just a feeling. It's nothing like you get certain events, things like that'll show you, but you just know. It's just something like it's hard to explain. Like how they say in the movies, it's hard to explain. Like, yeah, we all have our girlfriends and spouses and stuff growing up. You growing up, puppy love and all that. But then it get to a point like, hey, what am I missing? And it's filling all the gaps. And you don't realize how important it is to the little stuff, or like when you go on vacation, or like one of y'all go on the little stuff like the meals or just little stuff. So it's hard to explain, but you can get a sense.
Well, yeah, I will. I'll call you when I feel like I got that feeling, because I thought I had it before and it was indigestion. I thought I had it before, and it was. I thought I was feeling something warm, and I was, because the devil was close by. So I don't know.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Listen, I'd rather you be honest with yourself to stay somewhere you really don't want to be. That's the thing about relationships. It's more work than being single, so you really got to be dedicated to put the work in.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's interesting, and in 2021 is going to be a beautiful year. It's my favorite number, so it's definitely going to be a special year for me, my year, and every year's my year, but this one's got a special mark because it's 21. So I'll call you when I think I found somebody special, and you can ask me all the great questions, because I'm like you. I'm a hopeful romantic. I call it hopeful, not hopeless. Hashtag to me for that one, but I call it hopeful. And I'm about the candles and the flowers and all the good stuff, and treating her like a queen. But, you know, you got to find somebody to treat you like a king as well. So that's still looking for that, bro.
That's why I tell you, for both ends, don't settle for less. Like, you know, they got to have something from both ends. You got to bring something to the table for each side. It ain't just, I'm about to elevate you on this relationship. We elevate each other.
Yeah, man. So all I'll tell you is, you know, I thought that I might have had something good, and what I ended up having was some good material to add to my stand-up. So
hey, you'll find a steak in the garbage every blue moon. So it ain't too, you know, you find a diamond in the rough every once. So you know, you'll be all right, Dan.
I'm gonna be all right. Listen, people are gonna enjoy the comedy of it. That's all I know. So they'll appreciate that. So what has 2021 looked like? I can hear your daughter in the background. I know you're thankful for her. So what are you thankful for? You know, when you look at 2021 and a fresh start on a new year, what are you looking forward to? What are you thankful for?
Just another year of blessing. Like 2020 was so crazy. It's just so crazy. Like you just happy to be here. Honestly, we all just like the people that still breathing here. We just happy to be here because we lost so many people and so many opportunities from stuff that was out of our control. So I'm just looking forward to spending more time with my family, keep building my training business, keep being a better man, learning, and keep trying to build all aspects of life, as far as being a dad, husband, and things of that nature. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And speaking here with Eric Crume, Syracuse Orange football alum, nose tackle from 2011 to 2014, and a great friend of mine here. Appreciate him very much. Crume, for you, before we get into NFL Championship Sunday, I gotta ask you about. First and foremost, like, what is going on in the house right now?
This Barbie dream house. That's what's going on. Trying to get my attention. I had to give her the dad look.
You know what? When you just said I had to give her the dad look, I tell you, for like point by point, piece by piece, I guarantee you I could draw that picture of your face right now. I saw that dad look that you just gave her.
It ain't being real effective right now.
But yeah, I mean, and the thing that's crazy is I actually was going through my phone this weekend and just kind of like freeing up space and whatnot because I keep a bunch of stuff, keep everything, and I saw the video that you had sent me of when your little girl there at 1 year old was putting things together on the iPad and shapes and colors and all that, and I still marvel at the day that at one she was smarter than some people I know that are in like their 30s right now.
Yeah, the time moved fast. It's crazy because she'll be 4 in June.
That's crazy. That is so crazy.
That's crazy, right?
That is nuts, man. So how are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with fatherhood right now, knowing that your daughter's going to be 4?
Oh, man, it's fun. Like, these are the fun times. You just let them be them. Like, you start to see the personality and just best time to sit back and let her go. Like, she just all over. She run room to room and all that. She just left the room. She probably be back in 20 seconds and want to jump and play. And, like, man, I wish I could get $1 if every time I heard Daddy every day. I'd be just like the person just won the Powerball.
See, that's awesome. And you know, that's the beauty of it. And that's the thing is, you know, people talk about they want riches, they want this, they want that. All I want someday is to call you up and say, you know, that I'm married to the love of my life, and I get to be called, you know, daddy from my kids, because
I ain't have no queens in my house, so
like
I got my princess,
beauty
my dog,
of life.
they want this, they want that.
I would imagine
all I
you
want
would agree
someday
with that. Is to call you up and say, I'm married to the love of my life, and I get to be called, you know, daddy from my kids, because that to me is like the true beauty of life. I mean, and I think I would imagine you would agree with that.
And I know one thing is like what I learned early in the fight, that love is going around. A lot of people be homeless, whatever, financially, kids, whatever you want to say, financial stability, or have a lot of money, things you buy. There's a lot of people that they just want to know my dad is around, my mom is around. You know, I know one thing is like the game, for me just being a performance at school, or I could be homeless, whatever. That's just the biggest thing. Like, I feel like the richest man in the world. Every time I see wake up and smile and have him and all that. And she ain't want to know my dad is around, or my mom is around.
That coming here from Eric Crume this morning, speaking on being a father and being a husband and having that relationship and that connection, which is truly beautiful. You're out in the state of Michigan, and right before we jump into the NFL Championship Sunday
this
talk, as
morning,
Green Bay isn't that far away from where you're at.
And
bring
being
me
a
into
husband
how
and
things
having
have been
that
going with the
relationship and that
pandemic in
connection, which is
Michigan. I saw that restaurants are starting to open back up
You're out
again.
in the state of Michigan, and
coincidentally,
right,
right after the election, things seem to be getting
NFL
better.
Championship
But
Sunday talk is
and I'll put them little air quotes. But
bring me into
what can you tell me about Michigan and what life has been like out there?
I saw that restaurants are starting
handling
to open back up again.
Maybe what things look like out there.
Coincidentally, right after the election, things seem to be getting better. But and I'll put them little air quotes. But what can you tell me about Michigan and what life has been like out there, and kind of how you've been handling it, and maybe what things look like out there?
Essentials and all that, but besides that, it's been pretty cool. It's not like mostly in the house or doing whatever they're doing. It's cold, so it ain't like it's been pretty cool for me. Like I think it probably ain't like this time of month, so it's really like last year 3 or 4 times. You got to places that you really need to go. That's where you go. A lot of essentials and all that, but like besides that, like my family, everybody really mostly in the house or doing whatever they're doing. Like I think everything's pretty cool for me. Like I think it probably we got an excellent governor. Like he's been on top of everything. Like even when they sat down in the restaurant, like shit, doing a lot of cooking and all that. But like my family has been affected and all that. She's getting all the slack, which is a good thing. Like I think everything's doing pretty good. Our game plan is working. Like shout out to Big Grit on top of everything. Like even when they're going to be popular for the people, they don't call it aggressive with Big Grit. And she had shout out to Big Grit. She keeping us safe and a lot of slack, bro.
And it's good to hear that you guys have been doing well and you've been staying safe out there in Michigan. Close by, the Green Bay Packers hosted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And going into this game, before we talk about the game itself, going into this game for you, Eric, how strange was it knowing that
close by, the Green Bay Packers
we were in a position
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If they won, we were going to see Tom Brady get to play a home Super Bowl game. No team has ever done it. Eric. Nobody's ever had this opportunity before. Did you already see the writing on the wall before the game even started?
We were in a position where
if they won, we were going to see Tom Brady get to play a home Super Bowl game. No team has ever done it. Nobody's ever had this opportunity before. Did you already see the writing on the wall before the game even started because of that?
Like I don't think Tom Brady this. I'm a Brady hater. I would never bet against him, but like I'm a Peyton Manning fan, so every time I run up, so you got to pick your side. Like I'm a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So and then I respect Tom Brady. I never gonna be one of the my family was weird. I used to like Brett Favre because I didn't like. I would never bet against him, but like wait till I was Peyton Manning fan. So every time I root against you got the juice. You ain't got to do that. If you don't want to show up to practice, tell them you ain't coming. So and then I always took it like an Aaron Rodgers too because I really enjoyed my family. It was weird. I didn't used to like Brett Favre because I didn't like how it was gonna be a blowout. The team he wait till like a week before training camp. Tom playing like you got the juice. You ain't got to do that. If you don't want to show up to practice, tell them you ain't coming.
And that's the crazy thing about it is Tom Brady. He's 43 years old. He still has the magic. Are you surprised that he can do it without Bill Belichick? Did you think that, because there was the notion that neither one of them could survive without the other.
Tom Brady,
Bill didn't make the playoffs, but
he's
43 years old, going back to the Super Bowl. What does that tell you about it? And does that finally dispel any rumors or thoughts that Tom Brady needed to be in Bill Belichick's system?
There was the notion that neither one of them could survive without the other. Bill didn't make the playoffs, but Tom did, and he's going back to the Super Bowl. What does that tell you about it? And does that finally dispel any rumors or thoughts that Tom Brady needed to be in Bill Belichick's system?
They might have been successful, but I don't think they would never really be successful without each other because they just played too much ago. I just thought it was like a perfect. I think Tom Brady is showing what he really can do, and it's so special. Either one of them would have been successful without each other. And he did a great thing in the team with all that. He didn't have Brady in a situation where he could play in warm weather too, and they would never have a chance to compete without each other because they just like really Drew Brees. I think Tom Brady is showing what he really can do, and it's so special. He really can own the division until he retires. And I think he really made a great thing and pick a Tampa with all his weapons well and pick a situation where he could play in warm weather too, and all he did was eliminate the division besides like really Drew Brees and leadership and competition with championship division. Tampa with all his weapons well and pick a situation where he could play in warm weather too, and all he did was eliminate the division besides like really Drew Brees and leadership and competition with championship division. Tampa with all his weapons well and pick a situation where he could play in warm weather too, and all he did was eliminate the division
because Jameis Winston, 33 touchdowns, 35 interceptions, or 33 and 33, or 34 and 30 this, or 30 and 33 and talk about that. Always very close. As much as he gave the ball to his own end zone, he also gave it to the other team. Because Jameis Winston, and then Brady steps in with these receivers that 35 interceptions, or 33, he has his best receiving core he's ever had. When O.J. Howard is healthy, always very close. As much as he gave the ball to his own end zone, he also gave it to the other team and Chris Godwin. And then Brady steps in, and you got to put in Scotty Miller, the young guy. Arguably, you have to honestly say he has his best receiving core he's ever had. I mean, Scotty Miller's maybe like his Wes Welker and whatnot, but that he essentially came onto a team where he has his best receiving core he's ever had. And then you got to put in Scotty Miller, the young guy. You have to honestly say to yourself, his Scotty Miller's maybe like his Wes Welker and whatnot, but that he essentially came onto a team where he has his best receiving core he's ever had, despite the fact that he's already won 6 Super Bowls.
He's probably about the 5th or 6th option for receivers that time probably for the richest. Even got Johnson talent-wise and just make a difference on his team. Every time I see him make a catch, like before the half, I think almost swung the game. And you got to think on that team, Scotty Miller is a good player.
And seeing what he's been able to, what Tom Brady's been able to do is fantastic. But again, coming onto a team full of riches, Leonard Fournette, a former top 4 overall pick, he comes in for peanuts on the dollar. So there's a lot to be said about that, and Dominican Sue and the defense, what they've been able to do. What Tom Brady's played on the defensive side of the ball. But again, everybody wants to talk about Tom Brady this morning and how incredible he is, and I'm not knocking that at all. Overall, but I do want to make mention of the fact that he threw 3 interceptions. So there's a lot to be said about that, and Dominican Sue and the defense, what they've been able to do. We have to look to the defense of Tampa side of the ball against Green Bay. Everybody wants to talk about Tom Brady this morning and how incredible he is. How good were they in NFL Championship Sunday against the Packers? But I do want to make mention of the fact that what can we say to give them credit? Typically, quarterbacks don't win tackle in history. You know that they have to look to the defense of Tampa, and obviously they have a big part Green Bay in this victory. How good has Tampa's defense with the whole reality of the fact that NFL Brady made Sunday against the Packers? Crucial and what can we say to give them the credit? Still won. You being a nose tackle in history, did something, you know that they harassed Aaron Rodgers. And obviously, they have a big part in this victory with the whole reality of the fact that Brady made 3 crucial mistakes and the team still won. So obviously, this defense did something, and they need to be spoken about this morning as well.
Rush some of his throws. Definitely. I would narrow down to the defensive line. It kind of reminds me of like the Super Bowl when I think the defensive line changed the whole game because Aaron Rodgers team doesn't win when the quarterback shows he fixes him off his spot. There wasn't going to be any better opportunity to rush some of his throws and take a lot of his throws. It kind of reminds me of like the Super Bowl when Von Miller and Marcus harassed Cam. I know how great he was in the first half. Changed the whole game because, like you said, usually a team doesn't win when the quarterback throws any more opportunity. There wasn't going to be any better opportunity to beat them because the defensive line made all the plays that needed to be made. Like I don't think the defense played a different game. Overall, second half was awful. Just enough plays. Brady was in the first half, but it was like when they were trying to build up in the fourth quarter, interceptions, so he wasn't going to get came up with opportunities to win that game. But the defensive line made all the plays that needed to be made. Like I don't think the defense played good again, so I think they made just enough plays to get them over the hump. Get it done. Like when they was trying to build up in the fourth quarter, they had the momentum building. They kept came up with a sack. He could the Packers rhythm once they got forward, they lead sack or pressure one drop. I think the line like sacked them again. So I think they made just enough plays to get it done and kept Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable.
And seeing this team and what they've been able to do defensively, like you said, giving credit where credit is due, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on this, to see how strong this Buccaneers defense has been and how they've been building it over the years, which is also pretty incredible here. I want to take a look at some of the names here. You mentioned some credit where credit is due, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Obviously, you have Vita Vea on the team, Khalil Davis, you have
Buccaneers
William Golston, you have Devin White,
how they've
who I
been
thought the
building
Jaguars
it
should
over the
have
years,
picked up
which is also
recently
pretty incredible
in
here.
the draft.
I want to take a look
Shavonte
at some of the names that are here. You mentioned some of them,
we
but
did.
in
How
Dominican
that
Sue,
man looked like he was wearing a suit of armor
on the team
on his body.
He
was just
William Golston,
jacked and ready to go. I thought the Jaguars should have picked up for them. And now, what is Jacksonville complaining about? So we look at that. Levante David
that
on the
man
team. Shaquille
looked like
Barrett
he was
as well.
wearing a
Jason
suit of
Pierre-Paul
armor on
his
his body.
Giants
He
history.
was just
and
jacked
so on
and
and
ready
so
to
forth.
go.
I mean,
I thought he
there's
was
a lot of
fantastic
really
talent for them.
awesome players
And now
here.
what is Jacksonville
and it's good to
complaining
see
about?
like in Dominican
Defense.
Sue and Jason Pierre-Paul doing it.
We look at
and
that.
then seeing the
Levante
Shaquille
David
Barretts
on
and
the
the
team.
Levante
Shaquille
Davids
Barrett
and
as
Devin
well.
White
Jason
and so on.
Pierre-Paul.
And Vita
A lot
Vea,
of you know
people
from
forget
Giants
about
history
how important he was
and
in the
so on and
draft.
so forth. I mean,
This
there's a
team's
lot
been
of really
building. Tampa
awesome
knows how to
players
draft
here,
good defensive
and it's good to
players, but
see
they don't
like in
always
Dominican
pan
Sue
out.
and Jason
And
Pierre-Paul
in the
doing
case
it,
of this
and then
one,
seeing the Shaquille
you know,
Barretts
when
and
I
Levante
named the
Davids
names
and the Devin
that I was
Whites
just
and
talking
so on,
about,
and Vita
you know,
Vea, people forget
as
about
a defensive
how important
person
he was
in history
in the
Crume,
draft.
This
team
does your mouth kind of water if you were a
knows
coach,
how to draft
seeing
good
that
defensive
these
players, but
guys
they don't
were the
always
ones that
pan
are
out.
leading Tampa's defense?
And in the case of this one,
You know what?
when I named the names that I was just talking about, you know, as a defensive person in history, Crume, does your mouth kind of water if you were a coach, seeing that these guys were the ones that are leading Tampa's defense?
I would say it would make you water. It does, but I gotta get my man William Golston. Like, if you had Detroit Lions and Dominican Sue, played Little League basketball, total different animals. Those guys over there. He's still productive and makes the Super Bowl, big fella. Like you said, I think they got a lot of pieces. But I would say like they have enough to dominate the defense because they're still so young in the secondary. Like you see the corners give up a lot of big plays. They got away with a lot of animals. Those guys over there. They got a lot of good players. Like especially when I think they got a lot of pieces in this prime. I think he's gonna be. I don't think like they have enough to dominate. They got a lot of good. They're still so young in the secondary. Like you see the corners give up a lot of big plays, and they got away with a lot of David and Devin White for us. But they got a lot of good players. Like like Devin White Jr. really keeps. I think he's talking before the draft. A heck of a player. I love him coming out just because they got a lot of good fans. They sideline too. Middle linebacker, he's like a pass rusher when he blitz. So that's why David and Devin White for us to build toward the future. They're gonna set like Devin White. I'm such a huge fan of his. I remember we talking before the draft.
Yeah, you know, and it's really incredible to see this. And a shout out to Will Golston, as you said. I grew up playing with him and whatnot. What can you tell me about Golston and your relationship with him, and just to go a little bit deeper into being a kid and being around him?
And it's really incredible to see this. And a shout out to Will Golston, as you said. I grew up playing with him and whatnot. What can you tell me about Golston and your relationship with him, and just to go a little bit deeper into being a kid and being around him?
6 foot something, like 12 years old. He was always real cool dude. Like it's so funny. Like you just tall. He was so like uncoordinated basketball. My other friends talk about this. Like I never knew he was like I was like on the football field like that. Once I started getting we was like 30. He was like 6. I checked him. I'm like, Will, you play middle linebacker at 12 years old? He was always linebacker 6'7". But like we like before he even played, you can't go 20. Let's say that middle linebacker 6 foot. The craziest thing was like I was hearing about football at Michigan State. Once I started getting to football, I checked him. I'm like, Will, you play middle linebacker at 6'7"? This dude play middle linebacker 6'7". Cam was down to 10. Before he even played the Romy, I didn't know you was big. I'm like, all that middle linebacker 6'7". He's like, man, that's my guy. And he kept doing that. Michigan State, and when I went up to check Michigan State, everybody was going down. Like, I didn't know you knew that person. But me and Will was real cool. Even when Cam was down to Cam, I was like, you ever need me? I didn't know you knew Big Will. I'm like, that's my guy. Because he puts things like that.
And that's a beautiful thing to see that. When you get to see, when we talk about what true success is not just focusing on yourself eating, but seeing other people that you care about eat as well. Because when one of us eats, we all eat. Do you get a sense of that and a feel for that? When you get to other people's success that you care for, what warms your heart as well and makes you feel good, and it's not just about you eating. It's not a selfish world, but other people that you care about eat as well. Will Golston make it to the Super Bowl that in a way you feel like you get to celebrate because that's one of your guys and an extension warms your heart as well and makes you feel good, and you want to see everybody. It's not just about you. It's not a selfish world, but essentially seeing Will Golston make it to the Super Bowl that in a way you feel like you get to celebrate because that's one of your guys and an extension of your family and your connection that you want to see everybody eat, not just yourself.
Kids that, definitely. Like I get excited when I see anybody like I have a relationship with or someone I feel like do that thing. As kids, all we see is the people on TV. Sometimes it don't seem real until you have somebody that's like, man, I know Will goes to eat from here, here, and here, and man, he do the free camps and all this stuff for the kids. So that'd be my biggest thing. To see him win is gonna create another avenue for a whole generation to win, especially coming out of Detroit. It was like, because one time I seen somebody trying to bash him on the internet or whatever, like, oh, he turned the kids down for autograph. I'm like, this dude do a free camp for kids every year, don't charge them $1. So you can't get mad at the one autograph he don't sign or the gear he don't see. And like, I see this guy do what he do for his community, the turkey drive and all that. So that's what makes me excited, just seeing the man that becoming, especially seeing him reach his success. And NFL's almost been in the league for almost 9 or 10 years now. Coming from a guy I played, Little League basketball with, he's in the Super Bowl. So that warms my heart. I'm always going to cheer for my guys. So I do get that sense of feeling when I see guys I know reach their pinnacle of success. I'm never a person, that should have been me or no. That journey was designed for that man, and I'm happy for his journey, and I want him to keep winning. Because he keep winning, it makes people around him win.
Yeah, coming from Eric Crume, talking about the importance of family, the importance of community, and the importance of supporting each other's success and not just your own. 2011 to 2014 alum of Syracuse, nose tackle, playing here with the Orange. Crume, to look back on this game, you and I talked about it off the air. Whigham and I talked about it on the air. Just what you can say about, because I want to get your thoughts on this too. One of my listeners, Greg, who definitely a longtime listener and supporter, and I appreciate you, Mr. Greg Eckert, and to everybody out there, to shout out
to Greg.
yeah, shout out to Greg. See, there you go, Greg. You got a shout out from Crume today. So, and a shout out from Crume that one holds a little bit more weight. So, Eric, for you, Matt LaFleur down by 8, touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It's 31-23, and there's 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and 9 seconds is when they ended up kicking the field goal. They're on the 10-yard line. They have Aaron Rodgers. They have Devontae Adams. They have Alan Lazard. They have Aaron Jones, and so on and so forth. The Green Bay Packers decide to kick a field goal to get within 5 in a game where they had about 2 minutes to go against Tom Brady inside of the red zone. Your thoughts?
As me and my friends would say as we played the video game, Matt LaFleur was point shaving. It's no way you don't give a Hall of Fame quarterback a chance to tie the game up, especially when you kick. You still have to score a touchdown after it anyway, and think you're going to keep Tom Brady from getting the first down. Come on, now, like I said, I might not be in the Brady fan club, but I know in my eyes, and I know how great that man is. You never give him a chance to close the game when you try to do it yourself. Even if you score, you still have the chance to go win the game. So why would you kick a field goal betting on your defense who's been giving up big plays all game? Yes, they did a good job in the second half, but they gave up so many big plays. Like, why would you put your faith in them instead of your Hall of Fame quarterback, your highest paid player, and arguably top 5 quarterback all the time? Why wouldn't you give him a chance to tie the game up? You kick a field goal and he never touched the ball again. That made no sense to me. It was like, did you panic? Was the moment too big for you? Like, I didn't get it. Even if you was unsure, call it. You all in anyway. Call a timeout. So even if you miss, you still got the 2-minute warning with 2 timeouts left. So you still have. Even if you kicked the field goal, all you did was keep an extra timeout and try to give your defense a shot. Even though they did play well in the last possession, it came down to that call. But I still gave Aaron Rodgers that chance because even if you don't get it, you still get to play defense like you did after you kicked the field goal.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and you and I were talking about it off the air, is the fact that, you like, no matter what they did, they still needed to score a touchdown. Like, even if they got the field goal, you're down by 5, you still need a touchdown to win. So you could go for the touchdown, and that's the thing. And you and I were talking about it off the air, is the fact that maybe you miss it, and you try, and you try to make a stop, and you go for it again. They still needed to score a touchdown. You miss a 2-point conversion. Even if they got the field goal, to get a stop, and you go for it again, you still need a touchdown. That's a lot better situation. So you could go for the touchdown. Okay, let's kick the field goal, because then we still got to stop it and still try to go for it again. No matter what they in the decision that they made, what I'm getting at here is
or
the decision that Matt LaFleur made essentially,
so you try to get a
put
stop
them in the same position they would have been in.
That's
if
a lot
they had
better
gotten
situation than saying, okay, let's kick the field goal because then we still got to stop it and still try to go for it again.
No matter what they needed to do,
the decision that they made,
they could have tied if they went for it, and that's what you want.
The decision that Matt LaFleur made,
essentially, they're in the same situation.
Put them in the same position.
So kicking that field goal didn't do anything, but put them in the situation of, okay, you still got to score again. So it didn't make any sense what type of advantage he was giving this team whatsoever,
and that's what you want.
But because of
they're
what
in the
I
same
just
situation.
So kicking
you
that
go
field
for the
goal
touchdown,
didn't do
you miss it,
anything,
you still got to
but
stop
put them in the situation of, okay, you still got to score again.
So it didn't make any sense what type of
you make the field goal, you miss the field goal, you still got to stop and score.
And
he would have had to stop them in scoring no matter what outside of getting the 2-point conversion
you miss
and the touchdown. That's why the decision to me doesn't make it
miss the conversion or the extra point. You still got to stop and score. You make the field goal, you miss the field goal, you still got to stop and score.
He would have had to stop them in scoring no matter what outside of getting the 2-point conversion and the touchdown. That's why the decision to me doesn't make any sense.
Then the thing is, you didn't even think that the field goal could have got, even though the tip shot would have get blocked. The game is over. You run it back with scratching against the TV. Like, I feel like he made it critical. I ran into the kitchen, get something to drink, and like try to outsmart the next person to outsmart themselves, because that made no common sense at all. You still have to score a touchdown. And I'm a big proponent of, I'm riding with the people who got me here. This your franchise guy right here. I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers. This why he gets paid $30 and $40 million and got the commercials. I'm rolling with him. Why wouldn't I give him a chance to tie the game up? And I still got to score a touchdown anyway. I'm like, nothing made sense about that. I know the players are probably just like, what the hell is coach doing? That makes no sense. Like, not to let your guy touch the ball, they never get the ball back again. So you did nothing but to help the spread out. What were you trying to do? That's why I say you point shaving. Like, because that made no sense.
Well, and that's the thing, is it made you stop and this is a fireable offense. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers, who runs the show in Green Bay, and, it seemed like he was getting along with Matt LaFleur, but I don't know about after this. And, I look at this situation saying, again, like you could block the field goal, you can miss the field goal. I would rather have you miss the field goal, or I would rather have you miss the touchdown attempt than miss the field goal. Because at least I know you gave it but you're on the 10-yard line with Aaron Rodgers. If that was Tom Brady, no question they're going for it. If that's Troy Aikman, they're going for it. Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Joe Theismann, Joe Namath, we look at Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, you're going for it.
I'm sorry, I'm going for it with any decent quarter. I'm not going for that field goal anyway. We don't have, this is what we plan for. Ain't no next week. You can give me, you see Andy Reid for one on fourth down with Chad Henne last week. It don't matter. With them type of situations, you got to ride with what's been getting you here. We've been throwing the ball. This is our offense. What's the field goal go? I don't care if you got Matt Stafford, whoever. What's this field goal not about to change nothing? We just have to score a touchdown. That's why I'm like, he panicked. It was nothing. He must have forgotten, thought he was coaching the 2000 Ravens or the 85 Bears or something. He took a nap on the sideline. Just forgot who his defense was. I was like, you missed me. I ain't know Ray Lewis that was about to try it out there. I'm like, this is the same defense has been giving up these big plays that you about to put your faith in, even though they play good defense, but I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Well, and speaking here with Eric Crume, Syracuse Orange football alum, about NFL Championship Sunday on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Eric, I mean, I'm with you and I agree with you completely here because, this is so strange and so insane, and we go off of the defense and how they weren't performing, and Matt LaFleur actually said, and I'll read it again, he said, quote, we knew we needed to get a stop, and I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but we got called for defensive pass interference, and it didn't work out. I think anytime something doesn't work out, do you regret it? Sure, but we're always going to be process-driven here, and the way our defense was battling, the way our defense was playing, it felt like it was the right decision to do. It just didn't work out, end quote. I don't know what defense he was watching.
That's my point. That's what I say. He must thought he was coaching the 2000 Ravens. What defense was you? Especially like the guy that even got the PI, he was just getting cooked all day. He gave up a touchdown before the half when they could do nothing but throw the.
Oh.
So it was really like, that's what threw me for a loop. I'm like, you trust these guys? They only had one or two sacks the whole day. They wasn't generating a lot of pressure. Then they would get beat on big plays. I'm like, what defense are you watching? That you just got paid to, yeah, they had a big second half, and I think some interceptions were more Tom Brady than the defense. So it wasn't like they just was out there being world beaters on defense.
Yeah. And we look at this and we see this, and it says Aaron Rodgers after the game said, the Packers have a lot of guys' futures that are uncertain, myself included. That's what's sad about it most, getting this far. Obviously, it's going to be an end at some point, whether we make it past this one or not, but just the uncertainty is tough and finality of it all, end quote. He's 37 years old. He's under contract through 2023 with a $134 million contract extension he signed in 2018. But we could be looking at something different. Jordan Love was drafted 26th pick. He was a first-round quarterback taken in this past year's NFL draft, which obviously might have said something to Aaron Rodgers. And Matt LaFleur, the head coach, said, I sure as hell hope so on Rodgers returning next season. He put, I mean, the guy's the MVP of this league. He's the heart and soul of our football team. So hell yeah, he better be back here. He's our leader, and, you know, just so appreciative of him buying into what we're trying to get done around here and leading that group. His voice carries a lot of weight in that locker room, and just, you know, I feel for him being in this situation, and for us to not get it done, man, it hurts, end quote. I want to go to a few things Matt LaFleur said. He says he hopes Aaron Rodgers is back. Well, you should have let him throw the ball. He said the guy's the MVP of the league. Well, then you should have let him throw the ball. He's the heart and soul of our football team. Well, then you should have let him throw the ball. He's our leader. Well, then you should have let him throw the ball. And him being in this situation and not for us to get it done, it hurts because you should have let him throw the ball. This entire quote says time after time after time, Aaron's the guy. Aaron's our focus. Aaron's our MVP. Aaron's our leader. Aaron. Well, if that's how you feel about him, then why didn't you let him, from the 10-yard line, throw the ball?
That's exactly how we was talking about relationships earlier. That's basically saying, you good enough to be my girlfriend, but I ain't gonna marry you. You gave me all this credit for no reason. I'm like you. What? That's all after the fact. That's not doing nothing. Y'all still could possibly be playing in 2 weeks if you gave him a chance.
Yeah.
All that woulda, coulda, shoulda. You didn't make the right call. Don't try to juice it up like, oh, well, we thought the best situation. No, this your guy. This is the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. You give him a shot, let him go. And the thing, like you said, up at Syracuse with all those guys up at 8, you don't get too many shots to win Super Bowl. I think Tom Brady has made it so common that everybody think it's just common to go to Super Bowls and play 20 years. Everybody not going to get the opportunity or want to play 20, 25 years. So you might have ruined his last shot at winning another Super Bowl. Because Mahomes is still in his prime. You got all the young quarterbacks coming up, but Josh Allen, Lamar, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray still got time around. So he might not get another shot to win the Super Bowl. This was his first conference championship home game. So the opportunities are running slim, and they haven't been making big improvements in the offseason where they go into Super Bowl favorites or anything else. Because everybody else is just going to get better, and they're going to get a year older, too. So a lot of their core guys are going to get another year older and all that. They don't have a lot of young talent like that, probably like Alexander Allen. They got a couple guys, but they're not just a team full of talent where you be like, oh, Green Bay going to be good for the next 5 years. So he might have ruined Aaron Rodgers' last shot. So I don't want to hear all that after the fact. That's like a 2-minute report. You didn't get the call right. I don't want to hear that you got it wrong after. That ain't going to make you feel better.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing, you know, is that, and I feel the exact same way as you do. Well, he's so great. He's my leader. He's my this. I'll do anything for. Then let him throw the ball. Don't tell everybody that he's great and he's this and he's that and he's the other. That's like talking so highly about an employee, and then when a promotion comes up, you give it to somebody else. That's like you said, that's like dating somebody and saying, you know, well, yeah, you could be my girlfriend, but you can't be my wife. You could be my boyfriend, but you can't be my husband. You know, like, that is the reality of it all, is that why tell the world how great Aaron Rodgers is, how much you trust in him, how much you need him, when he needed you to trust him most, you didn't. When he needed you to show that your words were not falling on deaf ears, you didn't. When he asked you to let him just go out there and do what Aaron Rodgers does, you didn't. And if I was Aaron Rodgers, and he probably is thinking about this, be some of the quarterbacks of the past, where the coach calls a play and he looks off at the sideline and he pushes the handoff and tells Mason Crosby to go back on the sideline because he's going for it. You know, Aaron Rodgers has that clout, and I think he has, I thought that he had that control. And, you know, ultimately, if I'm Aaron Rodgers and I do stay there again, I'd be looking at Matt LaFleur going, yeah, I'm going to do what I want from here on out, but thanks for being here.
Definitely, because it's like he can go do a Tom Brady move. Like, what if you put Aaron Rodgers on the coach next year? You don't think they'll have a good chance in the AFC or somewhere else? Like that, it just makes no sense. All of the great coaches are they good players. Like when Belichick went for it on fourth down when they lost to the Colts that year when they won the championship. Yeah, it didn't work out, but ain't nobody harking on it now. Or they could, because he rolled with his dude. He put his faith in his guy. That's what you're supposed to do when you got all-time great players. You
completely here because you know this is so strange.
In basketball, or you don't give it to the guy who's ain't nobody gonna go with your guy. It just made no common sense. Like I don't know if he got an ego problem or something. He wanted to be a hero and try to outsmart. That made no sense. He can't even sugarcoat it no more. It was dumb.
That coming from Eric Crume here on a wake-up call with Dan Tortora. So, can we say at this point he's going, and it's really funny because I said earlier in the show that it's like his 192nd or whatever Super Bowl, and Pat Mahomes said it's Tom Brady's 150th. So it's nice to know that Pat and I have the same type of humor and thought about the process. But what is your take on it? 10 Super Bowls now, the first team that will ever get to host a Super Bowl. And in a weird way, they're going to be an underdog, which is a story within a story. But your thoughts on Tom Brady? 10 Super Bowls now that he will advance to. He's won 6 of them. Even if he loses this one, he'll still have a better than 50%. So more than half the time he makes it to the Super Bowl, he wins. His numbers are great across the board. Is Tom Brady, as much as you and I are not a fan of his, so to speak, or grew up a fan of his, is it time for you and I to call him the greatest of all time?
At this moment, listen, you won't get no argue back from it. I don't know if it's gonna come out my mouth today, but I won't argue. I won't argue if somebody said he would. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna argue. That's the one thing. What he's done in his career is unmatched. You can't do nothing but marvel at his excellence. Like, he's the definition of excellence. Carrying franchises. He always competitive. Don't miss the play. Like, this dude is special. There's never going to be another Tom Brady. I say that. He's a one-of-one. So if you want to call him the GOAT, if you want to call him number 2, you can't leave him out your top 3. I'll leave it at that. However you feel, you a hater or not. Like I said, I'm not a Brady fan. I might not pick nobody over him if you put my nose to the fire. But I'm just saying, like, that dude is special. And if you're not appreciating the greatness, you be a fool. Like, I would text my friend. He loved Tom Brady. I was like, man, I can't even lie. Tom Brady was willing and dealing.
Yeah.
I texted Brady, too. I was like, man, Tom is like, he in the zone in the first quarter. I said, Green Bay might be in trouble. Like, and Peyton Manning got to die hard. But for you to not appreciate what Tom has done, especially in such a hard team sport like Super Bowl, like Dan Marino never went back to the Super Bowl. I think he made it, the second or third year? This man has been over half his career in the Super Bowl. Special. The man played in his first Super Bowl 20 years ago. Now he's back in it 20 years later. You can't tell me there's not greatness at the highest feet. Like, you got to get that man his flowers while he's still here. Like, Tom, you a bad man, Tom. But it was the D-line. I'm going to go into it was the defense yesterday. Because that second half wasn't it. But the thing I would say about him, he plays his role the best. He never get outside of himself. He always going to make the play that has to be made. That's why you can't, like, when you know it's full quarter time, you be like, man, you got to watch out for TV. So.
You know, and that's the incredible thing about it is he has done this over such a long period of time too, and to see the fact that when he was first going to the Super Bowl, I was at Marywood University as I think I was a freshman in college, And now I'm watching him, at 35 years old, having owned my business for about 8.5 years now and broadcasted for 18 years. So, the entire run, so basically the beginning of my broadcasting career to now, it was like the beginning of Tom Brady's football career in the NFL to now. So the entire time I've been a professional broadcaster, I've been covering this man. And what he's been able to do is uncanny. It's second to none. And, you and I, at this point, will make a lot of people happy in Boston, wicked head. But, we'll be able to make the, lobster, but we'll be able to make them really, really happy that we will call Eric Crume and I, Dan Tortora, will call Tom Brady the GOAT today on the show. What? For now!
We'll call Tom Brady the GOAT. I said I won't argue.
Right. So we'll stay silent in saying, or we will understand. But I'm going to go to the other guy on the other side of the coin here. Pat Mahomes has only played 3 seasons in the NFL. He played 1 game as a rookie, so I'm not going to count.
What? That's for the league, hands down.
So I'm going to say that. So looking at this right now, Pat Mahomes has only played 3 seasons, including this season, because his first season as a rookie, 1 game. Okay, we're going to scratch that. He was a starter 2018, 2019, and here in 2020-21. So as we look at this, in 3 seasons, he's made the Super Bowl twice. That's 66.7% of the time. He was a Super Bowl champion in his second year as a starting quarterback in the NFL. So we look at Tom Brady, and we look at his history. Dare I say it, and dare I ask it, could Pat Mahomes be another quarterback in recent NFL 21st century history to continuously make the Super Bowl and to already be considered a Hall of Famer?
I think he's the only person who can beat Tom Brady as the GOAT quarterback. I say that he's so good. If he win the Super Bowl, he'll already be a top 8 quarterback all time. And your top 10 are already 3. If he win this Super Bowl, I know his resume is short, but the things he accomplished so far in his short career, if he wins the Super Bowl, he'll be a top 10 quarterback all time already.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, we look at these numbers, 3 seasons, 2 Super Bowls, a Super Bowl championship already. The man has thrown 114 touchdowns to 24 interceptions in the regular season. He has 50 touchdowns to 12 interceptions in his first season as a starter in the NFL. 26-5 touchdown interception in his second season. And this year, 38 touchdowns in the regular season to a mere 6 interceptions. He has fumbled 11 times in 3 seasons, is also another thing to note here. This man has been incredible. He already has over 14,000 yards in the regular season in 3 seasons. Threw for over 5,000 yards in his first season as a starter, and then over 4,000 in his second, and over 4,700 this season. His completion percentage has been 66% for 3 straight years. Your thoughts on those numbers?
Special. He's like the generation. He's going to set the standard for the next 25 years of the quarterback they look for. He can do everything on the football field as a quarterback. It's just, he's like one of them dudes, you watch him, he going to do something make you like, man, this dude's something crazy. Like, he passed the eye test, he got the numbers to back it, he wins at a high clip, Super Bowl champion. Like, the dude, you got to think, if D4 don't jump off sides, he'd be in the Super Bowl again that year. Let's not forget that now. So the dude would have made the Super Bowl his first year as a starter. D4 don't jump off sides. Go back, make it again. Then this dude came up short, less than under the AFC Championship in 3 years. And with just an average defense with a couple playmakers. Like, this dude is special. For you to trade your guy, Alex Smith, and he was making $28 million, like, no, we got this young cat right here, we'll be all right. He kind of did to them what Tom did for the Buccaneers without having to change teams. The Chiefs were good with Alex Smith. Then when they paid him a start, they went to special. Those receivers got a little better. The numbers went up. Like, some of those feel like two different players was from Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. That dude he has a chance to be the best best football player of all time. To beat Tom. I think he's the only one that has a legitimate shot that I've seen that could be the best football player ever.
That coming from Eric Crume this morning. Eric, to me, I felt this last season, arguably, because he did something Dan Marino never did, which was win a Super Bowl. And so now this season, going to his second Super Bowl in 3 years and back-to-back Super Bowls, and all of his numbers, and the fact that he's already won the highest honor in football, is Pat Mahomes, if he ended his career right now, is he a Hall of Famer?
In my book, yes.
I'm with you.
I'm not because what I don't like about the Hall of Fame is like sometimes they go into a longevity, career achievement award. Like when I was a kid, like I think Luke Kuechly's a Hall of Famer. He only played, Patrick Willis, they didn't play a long time, but they were special in the time they played. This dude is like young Aaron Rodgers 2.0. Like, he just looks different when he throw the ball. It's like some guys, when they just, in their sport, it's like you got the all-star level guys and them guys that's on another level after that. He on another level. Like, that dude is special. Like, he's one of those guys that's like, man, you just know it when you see it. He, like, can do everything. Like, the passes he makes on the run and the no-looks and, like, this dude playing Madden in real life. Like, that dude just that good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he is a one special guy. I mean, obviously having Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He got the perfect situation. Offensive-minded coach, and I was just watching that game last night. I just was marveling how creative the offense is, the motions, the little flip passes. Like, they so creative. They put the perfect team around him. They like a track team on the football field. Big cannon quarterback with a track team full of receivers. And arguably one of the best tight ends ever.
And that's the thing. I mean, to me, he's the best tight end in the nation. But I said that before this year with Travis Kelce. Tyreek Hill, fastest man in football right now, playing in the NFL. I mean, that man's nuts. You don't talk.
Hardman too. Hardman, top 5 fast guy in the league too, on the same team.
Yeah. And then you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I said, I was like, this team won a Super Bowl without having their running back, Kareem Hunt. So what did they do after they won the Super Bowl? They drafted a running back to make their running game better when they're already bringing everybody else back. So
then they signed A.O. Bell, 3-4 years ago. He was arguably the best running back in the league. And he doesn't even start. Then they still got Williams coming. They probably the only team that got better weapons than Tampa.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we look at Kansas City, and when I do my fantasy football power hour every week, Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time with Mike Sofka, whenever we get to Kansas City, it's the easiest thing for me to do. If they're healthy, Pat Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and then we move on. You know what I mean? And McCall Hardman, and there's some other, guys can come in, Demarcus Robinson, and,
Watkins, the guy Pringle. I'm like, they just keep coming with guys. Like,
and that's the thing, is because they're so talented, do you think that Kansas City can keep this together, keep the talent around Pat Mahomes, and keep Andy Reid? Because there was a time where people thought when Andy Reid left Philadelphia he was washed up. Do you believe that Kansas City can keep this together and have this around Pat Mahomes to continue to be successul?
I think they can. The only thing is so hard is when in football we know once you keep winning, especially when those Super Bowls, guys want to get paid. Yeah. It's not like basketball. Like you see, like when Denver, when they won, all those guys when they got paid because teams start overpaying those players because they want winners on the team, and so a lot of your core pieces are gone. But they did a good job of locking up their players. Like they signed Chris Jones last year, so you got your best defensive lineman locked up, got your quarterback, got your receiver locked up for the next 3 years. Kelce just signed a new deal, so they got probably 5 of their best 7 to 8 players signed for the next 2 to 3 years with Mahomes. So they got a chance to have like a smart dynastic thing and just keep filling those pieces around it. And I think having a confident defense during Mahomes' run is going to be the biggest thing for them because they can score with anybody.
Well, and I think that's what we look at right now. You know, I think the reality of what we're seeing right now is, I mean, you talk about guys wanting to get paid when Super Bowls come and championships and whatnot, but if you're Tyreek Hill, if you're Travis Kelce, if you're Clyde Edwards-Helaire, why would you not want to play with this quarterback? If you're Sammy Watkins, if you're any of these guys, why would you not want to stay? Like, if I'm on the Chiefs right now and Pat Mahomes is my quarterback and they just locked him up for what, $50 million a year for forever, why would I not want to stay here? I mean, I understand wanting to get paid and move forward, but if I'm a receiver, if I'm a tight end, if I'm in this offense, I'm not even thinking about going anywhere else.
I'm with you, but you got to think it's still an NFL too. You want to hit away from being your last game. So a lot of people want to cash in when they get the opportunity because some guys not fortunate enough, especially in football, really after your second contract going to be your biggest payday. So a lot of those guys that might have just been rotational or good players on the Chiefs might take the opportunity to go get paid. They didn't got their ring and the accomplishment and team accolade, but I'm a receiver. It's a no-brainer for me. I'm staying there. But, you know, the power of money, though. They always say money the root of all evil, so it sounds good till they put that contract in front of your face and tell you the initial here and sign here with them zeros on it. So that's the biggest thing I worry about is them losing pieces to them being successful.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing they're going to have to lock up and hold on to. Eric, before I let you go really quick here, Andy Reid, we all talk about Bill Belichick and how he is a genius. What can you say about Andy Reid, a coach that was successful in Philadelphia, a coach that drafted and was successful with former Syracuse quarterback Donovan McNabb? Andy Reid goes to Kansas City again. People thought he was washed up. They thought he was done. They thought that Kansas City was getting a guy who didn't have anything left in the tank. Then he won a Super Bowl. Now he's got a chance to win 2 in a row. Where is Andy Reid when it comes to coaching in the NFL?
Oh, he's at the top tier. It's not too many. On the offensive side, I think he's the most elite in the NFL. Just look at the coaches that came from under him that got jobs. All those guys, most of his guys go make the playoffs. When Nagy made the playoffs, Peterson won the Super Bowl, even though he just got fired. All the guys that come under him usually are successful. The schemes, and usually watch those teams when they play. The offenses are so creative from his coaching tree, but I think he's been overlooked so much because he can never win the big game, man. People don't realize it's hard to win in the NFL. Like, it's one game. It's not basketball in the series where the best team always wins. Sometimes there's a couple plays here and there. And I know he was catching a lot of flack from when they lost. They let the coach come back probably 5 or 6 years ago when they had that big lead. But I think everything just fell into place. And I think for him to make that quarterback change and find Mahomes when he wasn't even projected to go that high. Like, nobody had Mahomes projected. Nobody seen this. Let's be honest. Like, you can see glimpses, but it took a special mind to see this kid is it. They traded up to get him. It wasn't like they said that. They traded up to get him while they still had Alex Smith. So he saw something special that he could do with him. So I think he got to get the credit for that, too. Having been a good eye for talent, getting a Tyreek Hill in the 5th round and putting the weapons around him.
Yeah.
So I think he got to get his credit for that. Like, he don't get enough credit for team building, too, even though it's the defense and all that. But he has to start getting his credit.
And with that coming from Eric Crume, awesome time here for everybody involved. Eric, final statement here, because I know your daughter is fighting for your attention, and you've given us plenty of it. Last thing here, Buffalo, where are they at? Josh Allen, Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, Levi Wallace, Stephon Diggs, Devin Singletary, Coach Sean McDermott, and so on and so forth. 2 quick points, one on Buffalo, one on Kansas City. I'll go to Buffalo. Where is this team at right now? Are they going to be a contender? What are your thoughts?
I think they're going to be one of them good contender teams for years to come because they have the best nucleus in the division. They got the best quarterback, got the best receiver. They always keep a solid defense. When I was with McDermott, I love the way McDermott coaches football. So I think they got a great coach. Like, most of the stuff you need to have a good organization, especially to keep constant with the division. We really worried about the Jets. The Dolphins had a good season, but that division was run by the Patriots for so long. So now they got everything, like, really the best in the division, probably maybe besides the best coach because Belichick's still in the division. But, like, they got a young quarterback, and they got Stephon Diggs. I think they still can use another playmaker at running back. I think those guys are solid, but I think they need somebody dynamic that come out the backfield, catch a couple passes and stuff, too. And just get a couple more pieces. But I think they, like, on that borderline of real good, but not, like, a great team that scares you. Be like, I didn't think they were going to win the game yesterday. Like I told you before, even though I was kind of cheering for them a little bit. But it's just, like, those dynamic guys, like, I think Stephon is the only dynamic guy really on offense. They had guys who make plays. John Brown is fast and Cole Beasley, but somebody you could just, like, change the game. Like, Kansas City got 2 or 3 guys that can do that. They got one, so I think they're on the brink. You know, just a couple pieces here and there, and just might be luck sometimes. They might just catch, you know, the couple teams on a bad year, and they could easily be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know, and I do agree. I think they need to get somebody else with Stephon Diggs to give Josh Allen another weapon down the field. Dawson Knox step it up as well and see what he can do. I know he scored in the game. Final question, final notes. He has the same first name as you, but he doesn't have a head coaching job yet. Eric Bieniemy, does he finally get a head coaching job? Does he deserve a head coaching job? Where do you stand on Eric Bieniemy and everything he's done with Kansas City? You know, if he stays there, I don't knock him for it, but I find it hard to believe that somebody wouldn't want him when the New York Giants would take literally the water boy from the Patriots team to be their head coach. And here's Eric Bieniemy right underneath Andy Reid as one of the coordinators, who's fantastic, and we're still and working with the best of the best, working with arguably the best, you know, quarterback of the future in the league. You know, to some people, the best quarterback in the league right now, the best, you know, the fastest wide receiver, the best tight end. What are your thoughts on Eric Bieniemy and where things are at for him right now?
Oh, he definitely deserves a job. Do I think he'll get one? No. It's just the way the landscape. I'm sorry, but right now, like, especially the Rooney Room is becoming a joke now. It just seems like they bring minorities in just to say they interviewed them and all this. And the sad thing about Eric Bieniemy is they using stuff against him that they didn't use the other guys under the Andy Reid tree. He didn't call plays. None of those guys called the plays under Andy Reid, but they didn't. You didn't hear that about Matt Nagy or Doug Peterson or those guys. But when it's his turn, he don't call the plays. Like, these guys have been fantastic. He clearly had his headset on like he called plays to me, but when it comes to him, he can't call no plays. And they've been successful every year. He's been the coordinator. And this dude's been going on interviews for years and years and still haven't gotten the opportunity. Like, at some point, it's just like, dude, we know why. We know he's not getting the job, because it's like, then what are the jobs left? You gonna go to Houston with Deshaun Watson one out? Why would you leave to go to a bad situation? So now it's to the point, it's like, I wouldn't even take none of those bad jobs. They want to give all the good jobs away, or the ready-made teams to guys that weren't, I'm not going to say not qualified, but don't have the credentials he have, and try to lead the slop job. Like, why would you go to Houston and the best friend of the team doesn't want to be there? What are the jobs left? And it goes to, like, the whole grand scheme thing with the minorities, too. It's multiple minority coordinators that's about to be in the Super Bowl. How many of y'all you heard about being interviewed for a coaching job?
Yeah.
So, like, Leftwich, you got Ty Bowles, Bieniemy, Leslie Frazier just was in the AFC Championship. You don't hear nothing about them getting jobs, but I saw the Eagles went on let the guy interview in his casual clothes. They didn't want him to feel uncomfortable. That's the type of way they set it up for the guys they want, but the minorities and all that don't get the same opportunity. If Eric Bieniemy did this interview in this casual clothes, he doesn't respect the opportunity and all this, but this guy do this, y'all make accommodations for who y'all really want. It just shows the structure and the problems that go on with it. Like, now it's becoming a joke. Like, the guys who really qualified don't get a second look or a chance, but you go get the 8th, 9th coach off an average team and make them a coach. Special teams coaches and tight ends coaches and all these guys getting jobs. How they gonna run the team? They got just a position. They're not even the coordinator. That's what I'm saying. Some of these guys not even coordinators or position coaches. Like, even though I like the guy the Lions hired, I like this speech. This dude was a tight end coach.
Yeah.
And get a job instantly. This guy had the most powerful offense the last 2 or 3 years. And he can't get a job. You can't tell me you don't see nothing wrong with that just as a football fan. Regardless of the person, this man has paid this dude for years. This man is 50-something years old. They bringing stuff up from when he was playing in Colorado. You can't tell me ain't something wrong with that.
You know, and that's the reality. You know, after all this, you know, seeing what he's capable of doing, seeing what he has done, seeing the team he's been on, I would venture to say that this would be the guy that people would be going after the most. So it is. I think he would be at the top of the list. So it's very surprising. I don't agree with it. And Eric Bieniemy, if you want to stay with Kansas City, then I hope Kansas City keeps going back to the Super Bowl over and over and over again. I got nothing but respect for you, and I'm hoping the best for you moving forward. With that being said, Mr. Crume, in 2021, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your family. I'm thankful that you're all healthy. And I can tell you that I appreciate every time we get an opportunity to talk, and then every chance we get after the last time is always even better. So I appreciate you, brother, and I thank you more than words can say.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you too, my good sir. I'm gonna text you a good question. You might get answer on air about some football, but I appreciate you, man. Love our friendship. Keep being blessed and having a great 2021. Everybody keep checking out Wake Up Call with my man DT, and we're gonna have a wonderful year.
That's right. That coming from Eric Crume. I appreciate you, brother, and I'll talk with you soon. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care. That coming from Eric Crume here, where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So very, very much appreciate Mr. Crume for being a part of the show. And as always, we're going to take a step aside for our final fast break of today's broadcast of Wake Up Call, the final week of January 2021. Final week of the first month of the new year. Can you believe it? Well, this should tell you to appreciate the time you have and spend it wisely. We'll take a step aside for a fast break and be back right after this.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make your way out there every Tuesday through Sunday, weekly, to the Millhouse Market. But download the app before you do that so that you have everything that you need at your fingertips for the Millhouse Market. Very user-friendly on the Google Play or Apple App Store. You'll have all their homemade breads, desserts, quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, brick oven pizzas, and their sandwiches that are named after the families that helped to settle what is today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community, ingrained in our taste buds, the Millhouse Market, now with the bistro indoor dining open on the weekends, as well as throughout the week, being able to go into their general store with local products from local companies, and of course their drive-up window open Tuesday through Sunday. A multifaceted hometown place that is perfect for all of us, no matter what our taste buds crave. The Millhouse Market is the place to go. 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. The Millhouse Market, worth the drive every time. With that being shared here on the show this morning, I would like to thank you all for watching and listening to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You've been able to watch us here on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. You've also been able to watch us on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. These videos will all be uploaded and added to WakeUpCallDT.com. If you click on the Wake Up Call TV page, right at the top of WakeUpCallDT.com, there's a drop-down menu of that. You just click on Wake Up Call TV. You'll get this show and so many other shows all throughout the month of January here for 2021 and dating back to the end of 2020. So you'll be able to see the information, see who the guests were, and get the full shows there. And then you can get the shows cut into portions on many different outlets that we have. So we'll break it up interview by interview. So if you want the full show, go to WakeUpCallDT.com and click on the Wake Up Call TV page, and you'll get all of the full shows like today. And then if you want pieces broken up in interviews, you can get those on Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, MixLR, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and the video version on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Of course, you're listening every Monday through Friday to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on WakeUpCallDT.com. And you are watching and listening, as I stated before, on Facebook Live on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT and on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. I want to thank all of our proud partners here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora: Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Avicoli's, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Honda City of Liverpool, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Go to Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com. That's Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com, and connect with them there. You can get 20% off, and I appreciate you going out and doing that. Get 20% off at maandpaspopcorn.com. You can order anywhere in the country and have it sent to you. You can also pick it up in the store if you're here in the community, and all you have to do is go to maandpaspopcorn.com and use my personal promo code DT20. That's DT20. So make sure you do that. With that being stated, I hope you have a fantastic beginning of your week, and you will find us on Facebook to stay in touch with us all throughout at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook, at Call DT on Twitter, and at WakeUpCall_DT on Instagram. Of course, on WakeUpCallDT.com as well. God bless. No stress. Do your best. And I'll talk with you soon. Be good, everybody, to each other and to yourself. Instagram, of course, on Wake Up Call, at Wake Up Call DT on Facebook. Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Wake Up. My Cadillac broom, my doggy sound up, sir. Bang car alarms, bend them curves.